So we all know that Donald Trump is a huge xenophobe, racist, misogynist, what have you, but super racist. In fact, he was being asked about his endorsement from David Duke, the huge racist, and he was like, I don't know anything about David Duke. The KKK, I don't know about these groups. I don't know. Muslims, get them out of the country. Mexicans are all rapists. KKK, I don't know a lot about them. I don't know. I don't really know.
I don't know what's going on.
It's kind of a mystery. Who? The KK what? Are they throwing a lot of strikes? Because that's what KKs are about. Anyway, so Donald Trump. So then Van Jones. I don't know if you know Van Jones. He used to be he's a big progressive, a black guy, used to work with Barack Obama. Barack Obama fired him immediately when the right wing pressured him to do so. So now he's on CNN making a bunch of money, talking to a bunch of knuckleheads every night. S.E. Cupp, Anderson Cooper. Now he's talking to a guy named Jeffrey Lord. He's a Donald Trump supporter. And he's trying to explain to him, see, this never works. When you try, it's like trying to explain on Twitter to a racist why racism's wrong. And so here is Van Jones explaining to Jeffrey Lord, a Trump supporter, why racism is bad and what the real effects of what Donald Trump is doing is a chilling effects on black people in America or people of color in America who have faced actual racial violence in their life. He's trying to explain that to this guy, Jeffrey Lord. It's always a loser. Here we go.
There's a lot of things you said I could take you on about, but I want to be very, very clear. The things that Donald Trump has done, and not just in this race, are horribly offensive. You can go back with this guy for a long time. I want to talk. I want to talk. This is
I didn't
important.
say anything yet.
Oh, you breathe. You can go back to the Central Jogger case, where he came out and had innocent black kids winding up in prison.
Innocent kids.
Hold on a second.
No, they were innocent black kids. They were black. What was that about? Wasn't that weird? No, they were just innocent kids. No, they were innocent black kids. That's what the thing was. That was during the super predator era. Remember that in America? Okay.
Black kids. Listen, hold on a second. We have a big problem at this point now, because I agree with you about a lot. I think that we have taken him not seriously. We have not respected his voters. But there is a dark underside here, and Essie is right. He is whipping up and tapping into and pushing buttons that are very, very frightening to me and frightening to a lot of people.
Okay, so he's laying out his case. What do you think you're going to explain? He's going to go, I get it. Racism is scary to black people and minorities. Oh, what was I thinking? I'm sorry, Van. I won't support Trump. What does he expect this guy to say? Except this stuff, which is what he's going to say.
It's worse than that, sir. It's worse than that. That whole thing with those Central Jogger kids, he got the entire city of New York whipped up on this idea that these kids had done something wrong. And then when it turned out they were innocent, we all make mistakes.
Right.
He never apologized to those kids. And that's a stain on him. And you can walk through time after time where he's done stuff like that. The stuff he said about Native Americans being, criminal organizations and mafias. He said many
Van, what you're doing right here, what you're doing here is dividing people. We're all Americans here, Van. You were dividing people. This is what liberals do. You were dividing people by race.
Facts. You're bringing race into racism.
Why are you bringing race into racism?
Why you gotta divide people with information?
Black people speaking out against the KKK and lynching, it's just playing the race card. So, of course, he's got more to say.
I am not.
This is what liberalism is all about.
The Klan divides people by race.
You have to divide by race.
The Klan killed people by race, and he had the opportunity, and he didn't do it tonight.
They did it to further the progressive agenda.
Why do you listen? That is, first of all, so absurd.
It is not
the
absurd.
Democratic Party of the South in the old days was a racist party, and you are correct, sir. They were a.
So what he's doing is, I don't know if you've noticed. So back in the 1800s, when President Lincoln freed the slaves, he was a Republican. So all the racists in the South turned Democrat. And they stayed Democrat until when? Until Lyndon Johnson passed the Civil Rights Act. That's when all the conservative Democrats switched from the Democratic Party and went to the Republican Party.
Right.
So all the racists left the Democratic Party and they went to the Republican Party in the 60s when Lyndon Johnson passed the Civil Rights Act. So he said, we're writing off the South by passing this. He knew they were doing that. And so now guys like this guy tries to pretend that, as Democrats were the racist ones. The conservatives were always the racists. The liberals back in the 1860s used to be in the Republican Party. Now the liberals are in the Democratic Party and the racists are in the Republican Party. But they try to play that switcheroo game, and Vance Jones certainly called him on it, but he didn't catch him well enough. Of course this guy thinks that. He got his history lesson at Trump University. So here we go.
I went party, and you were
How do you
correct,
think
sir.
we got Woodrow Wilson elected?
But hold on a second. That's not the Democratic Party of today. So what are you talking about that for? You played these games.
It is the Democratic Party of today.
Games.
The Democratic Party of today divides by race.
Listen, I have a kid.
Yes, the KKK they're the progressives. That's what he's saying. Yes.
But this is the worst form of conservative circle talking. It drives me crazy. It's not on point. It is. He just keeps coming back to one talking point that conservatives happen to be using right now, which is the liberals divide by race, which is the biggest load of bullshit I can imagine. And I can't believe that this guy isn't just putting a fist through his head.
Well, it doesn't. Why? So that's what I'm talking about. Like they're supposed to be having a conference. This isn't a conference. This guy is just full of it. He's just a racist trying to do mental gymnastics, and he's never going to concede your point, Van Jones. And so everyone sees who this guy is. Everyone knows who. Like you have to explain to this guy why it's wrong, why racism is wrong. You think you're going to wake him up at some point? It's not going to happen. So this is the kind of stuff that you don't have. So that's why CNN a complete waste of time. Just a complete waste of time. So here is what happened in a Kentucky rally. Chris Christie introduces Donald Trump. By the way, Donald Trump had all the black kids removed from from one of his. So this is a Des Moines Register reported that about 30 black students who were standing silently at the top of the bleachers at Donald Trump's rally Monday night were escorted out by the Secret Service agents who said the presidential candidate had requested their removal before he began speaking. So he told the Secret Service, get all the black people out of my crowd. And guess what? The Secret Service did it. They did it. They went and took all the black people, the students at the university, at their own university, and made them leave. Why? Because they were black. And everyone was okay with it. The sight of the students is according to the Des Moines Register. The sight of the students were visibly upset. Being led outside by law enforcement officials created a stir at a university that was a whites-only campus until 1963. The 19-year-old student, Tahila Davis, a mass media major who was among Valdosta State University students who was removed, said, we didn't do anything. They said, this is Trump's property. It's a private event. But I pay my tuition here. So the Secret Service is supposed to be there to make sure no one kills someone. They're not supposed to be there to bounce black people at the behest of a racist at a rally at a college. They're not supposed to pre-bounce people out of a rally at a college that's paid for by the kids' tuition. So that's what happened. And so then here's what happened at a Kentucky rally. Here's a black girl who was a protester. She had a sign on. Let's watch how they handle her. So here she is, getting pushed out, getting pushed around. People, white guys just pushing her every which way. Just here comes another guy screaming in her face, pushing her. And now here comes a veteran. Veteran's going to have his way with her. Let's watch that. Here comes a veteran pushing a girl. She's got a sign on. And she turns around. There you go.
Wow.
So that's America. Ain't that America? You and me. And that's the guy Les Moonves says, it's great. It's a lot of money for us. It's a lot of money for us. You know that guy who tells the Secret Service to kick out all the black people from his events? And then he tells his crowd to rough up black girls who are still there? That's who this. So then I'm watching I'm watching Fox News, and they brought on a black guy who was a spokesperson for Donald Trump. Because everybody can be bought. A black guy can, nothing new. Fox News has been having sell out black people on for a long time. Hey, Juan Williams, that $3 million, it must buy you a nice comfy pillow. It buys you earplugs so you can block out all that racist crap Bill O'Reilly says to you every day, right? So here they ask now you know that he doesn't have a problem because this guy's here to tell you all the good things about Donald Trump.
We're going to do great with the African Americans. And you see that in the polls, where I had one poll where I'm 25%. And one of the commentators, who I think is standing right in the back of the room in the corner, said, you know, if Donald Trump gets 25% of the African American vote, this election is over. You watch. And the reason I'm getting that, and I'm going to do great with the Hispanics, I'm going to do great with virtually every group. The reason is I'm going to bring jobs back.
So it would be a lot funnier if we just didn't see what happened. If we just didn't see the Secret Service, employees of the United States government, kicking out black kids at the behest of a racist. That would be funnier if that didn't just happen. Or those people, that veteran and all those white people at a Kentucky event for Trump didn't just rough up a black girl. Roughed her up. So now here comes our sellout. And here's what he has to say.
So, Giano, do you agree with that? Will Donald Trump do better than maybe anyone else on the GOP side as far as getting the African-American vote?
Well, first, let me clear up some confusion because there seemed to be some confusion in terms of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not racist. He has black friends. He's
Listen,
To hear a black person give the same rationale as a
racist white guy
as a
would.
racist white guy.
I got black friends.
That's
I know Arsenio Hall.
oh.
That's why you know Donald Trump is a racist. He let Arsenio Hall win on The Apprentice.
That is
Wow, there you go, huh? Only Fox News could find that guy.